Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about my portfolio, any changes that I've made and any upcoming projects that I'm looking at, which ones I'm looking at, etc. So let's get started. Per usual, before I get started, nothing is financial advice in my videos, guys. So previous time I done this video was about 2 months ago in November. I think it was the 29th as well. So literally 2 months ago, and we could see the prices. So of my main positions of my biggest holdings, we have Solana. So Solana then was $57. Now today is $100. So give or take 2x. And that's my biggest position. So it's carried my portfolio very well. And hence why I made the decision I made when it was around $20. I made my video. And Solana, my thesis hasn't changed. Everything's still the same. I do believe in it. My lowest target price for this bull run for Solana, the lowest I see Solana going at the peak of this bull run is $350. I'm saying that right now, I'm making it very clear. I still believe Solana, even though it's done a 10x from the bottom, I still believe Solana can do a minimum 3-4x from here. So $300 to $400, ideally it's around 350 my minimum target. So I'm not selling any. If any, I might buy. When it was at $80, I was contemplating buying some. But at the very least, I'm not selling any of my Solanas until when I think the bull market's over or around about 350. I'll probably think every 3 months I try to analyze the market and decide, hence why I do these videos. So that's Solana for you. Nothing's changed. If anything, fundamentals have only got better. The other day, they done more volume than Uniswap V3 or Uniswap, the DEX volume, Jupiter. So, I'm just, these things are happening every time now. These like flipping in metrics are happening every day now. So I guess I already talked about Solana so many times, so I won't go into that more. Next we have Polygon. So Polygon was 83 cents then. Now it's around 80 cents, 81 cents, give or take. So it basically hasn't done nothing in the last 2 months. To be fair, it hasn't done nothing in a while. And so I do like to play it safe and have some positions that, I think are safe to hold long term, and that's why I had Polygon, and the partnerships etc was really good. But the problem with L2s is their tokenomics are not very good, so I have decided to significantly sell a lot of my Polygon and Arbitrum. So this is the point of these videos, guys, because I know a lot of people want to know what I do personally with the tokenomics are very bad. I've had a lot of patience and holding it etc. I had the airdrop whatnot, but I did sell because the tokenomics are very bad. Plus there's more layer 2s coming up. There's like Eclipse coming up. There's like some very hyped ones coming. So I think some of the money will flow into those. But the whole L2 narrative, I'm not sure how sold I'm not as sold as I was before, long story short. Plus a lot of these are very big. They're like this rank is, what's this one on 15, right? Matic is on 15 rank. So you're not getting anything crazy in excess. If I'm gonna get a big rank, so what I've done with that money I'll go into later. But Polygon and Arbitrum, you can see Arbitrum as well was 104 then. I think Arbitrum has pumped a bit significantly because ETH had its pump. I think people are speculating ETH ETS is going to go through, even though I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. And so Arbitrum did do well, and I did sell some around $2.30 to $2. And so that one's kind of done well, but I mean I had to hold that for a while as well. And the funny thing was, just after the airdrop, it hit that price roughly, and ever since then it's just been coming down around 2.30. I took some off the table. And both of that funds I put in another project, which I'm going to talk about later on. And so the fundamentals, everything's still the same with Arbitrum. It's just the tokenomics are not very good, hence why I decided to sell a lot of my position. Then next up we have Cosmos. So Cosmos is 9.15 then, and now it's around 9.64. So pretty much give or take same amount. Like I said before, I hold Cosmos because I like the technology a lot, but I've actually analyzed Cosmos. And now, because of the potential airdrops, even though the price of the coin might not going up significantly, the airdrops make it way worth it. So I've decided to stake a lot more of my Cosmos coins. Before I was mainly doing liquid staking, but liquid staking doesn't get you as many airdrops as you potentially can without non-liquid staking. So I've non-liquid staked my Cosmos, and I've done a video on Cosmos and TR staking, what I personally done, my strategy. So it's a few videos ago if you guys want to watch that. And so Cosmos, I really like the technology, etc. And now, even though if it doesn't go up a lot or number go up, etc., just the airdrops alone, I think make it worth it. I just believe in it as a project, so I'm not willing to sell this one, even though it's not really big performance. I think not everything in your portfolio has to do crazy X's, right? Some of it you can just hold because you believe in it long term, right? And Cosmos is one of those. I believe in it a long term. Then we have Thorchain. I don't really follow it, to be honest with you. I just have decent bag that I used to have last bull run, and I sold a lot, but because it pumped, my little bag became like a position. So I think then it was 540, now it's at 410. So give or take, it's lost like 20% or something. So that I'm not too worried about it because it's not that much of a significant position. So let's go to the next up. So position that I sold completely. I got into a project in the last video called Friend Pit. I completely got off that. It was just I wasn't really feeling the project and I wasn't following it. I wasn't excited about it. I believe I sold it at a loss as well. Like, I think I sold it like 30%, 40%, 50% loss, something like that. Guys, I do make loss. I don't always win. If anyone tells you they always win, they're probably lying to you. Friend Pit, I think I made an L on that one. I think I lost out, but it wasn't a big position, a mid-term, short-term position. So Friend Pit, I'm out of that one. Next up, you have the new additions that I didn't mention in the last video. I thought I had mentioned these, but I haven't because I just watched the video and I haven't mentioned it. Okay, we'll talk about Celestia in a bit. So TokenFi is the project by Flowkey that I got into. I think I done a few X, took my initial out. It's a project in the ROA space, so I'm just holding that one. It's not a big position, but I'm holding that one because Flowkey and it's a low market cap coin, right? So I think it can do well. Then we have Pika and Maganeta. So MJX Pika, that's done like I think a 10x since my original buy. I posted it in my channel as well. So if you want to join that channel, join the link in my description. Sorry guys. So I think this I initially bought it at around 10, 12 million, 10, 13 million market cap, and I think it peaked around 800 million or something like that. So it's done near like 9, 10x, etc. Don't look at it. I took out 2x my initial out of this one, and similar thing with Maganeta. So Pika is a project that there is called Composable X, the actual company behind it. They've been invested by Coinbase Ventures, and they're trying to. The narrative is the eigen layer of the Solana ecosystem or outside of the Ethereum ecosystem, and so hence why it went on a good tier. Then we have Maganeta that's trying to do, well, I'm oversimplified it, but like liquidity, it's a liquidity type stuff. So I remember researching it then when I posted, but now I can't remember. But this one also it done like I think a 4 5x, and then I took out my initial again. So I took out 2x my initial, and now I've left a moon bag. So those two projects, they were like both happened in like 2 weeks. Within the 2 weeks time, I posted about both. Then next up we have Celestia. So let's just talk about Celestia. So remember earlier on I told you guys that I sold my Matic and Arbitrum for another project. That was Celestia. So I can probably make a whole video about this alone. But long story short, first of all, I think Celestia has more room to grow because of its rank 33, and those projects are ranked way higher. At least Matic is. I can't remember Arbitrum. I've got Arbitrum here, so I can check. Arbitrum 41, so technically Arbitrum can grow more, but obviously the tokenomics are very bad and there's unlocks and whatnot. So that's one reason I got into. The other reason is because I have some on the airdrop, my average is very low. So like because I put a certain amount of money in, but Celestia has to drop a lot for me to be in loss. So because I got the airdrop and I never sold it, that's why I think it's a safe trade because I'll be safe either way. Like even if it dumps, even from here if it dumps, I know it went to like $23 or something. That's number two. Number three is there's no unlocks until October that everyone already knows. So there's no new tokens in circulation. As long as there's demand, I think you should do well. And also, I'm just expecting like a 3x, nothing too crazy from it. And I think it can go to 3x. So it's around 3 billion market cap now. I think that 10 billion is very reasonable mid to short to midterm. So that's the other reason. And the other reason is a lot of people are staking it, so there's very less supply on the exchange. So Celestia, and I think it's a very big narrative going into this year, the data availability narrative, etc. And so I mean you're gonna get airdrop. So that's why I think a lot of people don't care about what price they buy it at, because it's gonna get offset by the airdrop. So we already got a few airdrops and we're gonna hopefully get more, right? So the airdrops alone might offset like 30 to 50% of the cost of your Celestia. That's why I see it as a sort of no-brainer trade. And so that's Celestia. Lastly, upcoming projects. So upcoming projects I can talk about before I go into the banger. You guys probably know what that is, but I'll talk about it later. I'd rather end. So a few projects I'm looking at that are gonna launch very soon. I might buy more depending on the valuation, etc. One of them is Dimension, and the next one is Jupiter. So you guys probably already know about what both of those projects are. Jupiter is one of the biggest projects in the Solana ecosystem. I do plan to accumulate this depending on the valuation, but we'll have to see on the 31st, right? How it does, how the airdrop does, etc. But I do believe this will have a lot of hype, and this is probably a coin I'll have in my portfolio because I think this is worth a certain amount of Solana's market cap. That's how big I think Jupiter is. And so I'll probably do a separate video on that alone, but that's another project that I'm looking at. And lastly, I'm looking at a project called SRC Pad. So this might be a bit less known, and that's kind of what I try to give to you in this channel. If I was talking about everything you can get in other channels, you wouldn't watch this, right? So I try to give you guys some stuff that like alpha, you can call it, or whatever. So this project I'm actually quite excited about. It's called SRC Pad. So it's basically a launch pad for the SRC20 industry. And so you guys already heard me talk about SRC20. I've done a tutorial on it, and I plan to do more videos on it. But long story short, SRC is hot, inscriptions are hot, launch pads are hot, and turns out apparently this is by Stamp Chain and some big people in the industry, or some reputable people in the industry. And so I don't know too much information about it yet. Maybe I'll do another updated video about that. But this is definitely a project that I've got my eyes on, and I do plan to like participate, maybe get some coins, etc. about it. So SRC Pad, definitely one worth putting on your radar. And so let me see. And the last thing I want to talk about the banger is my Myro, guys. Myro has gone like absolutely berserk, like ever since I got in. I mean, I think I got in even before this chart even started. Like I think he peaked around 2,500x, and I've been taking profits. And it basically become a actual position now of because I went in very small in this coin. All these meme kind of coins are going small. But the reason why I'm holding and not selling all of it, etc., because they're actually building things. Like they have like staking, etc. They've got other things that they're trying to build. They're not just a meme coin, and hence why once you start adding some fundamentals to a project, then there's a way of like valuing it. And so that's why I still hold Myro, and I probably wouldn't buy in here. Maybe if you go to like 10 cents, I might just put a little bit in, because we'll just be playing with house money at this point. But I still think it's got room to grow. I think you can actually reach the first page of CoinMarketCap. It wouldn't surprise me, because it is, the biggest, the most hyped blockchain right now, which is Solana. The Solana founders dog, right? So the narrative, the meme ability is very, very good. Like I mentioned on one of my podcasts recently, I was on a podcast recently, I mentioned meme coins actually do have fundamentals. That's probably a subject for another day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.